Welcome into Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. How are y'all this glorious Thursday?
I'm great. How about you guys?
You know what? Up and not crying.
That's all you can ask for.
Do you usually cry?
No, but you know, it's that fun, I don't know, Norwegian saying that's their greeting, their daily greeting.
Like I'm alive and I'm not in tears?
Yeah, like up and not crying.
That's a good, okay. That's as good as it gets. And
basically.
Okay. Do we have a name for Thursdays yet?
We have a Thankful Thursday.
Thankful Thursday.
Yeah. And I haven't tested to see if the sound effect is going to work yet on the transition. But yeah, we had a Thankful Thursday sound effect that I made. But other than that, I don't think so.
Was the Thankful Thursday sound effect like your sound effect?
No, but we can add the if you want.
Thank you, JP.
You're welcome.
You want to test Thankful Thursday?
Yeah, we'll see if it works. Okay, hold on. All right. Nah, it's not. I got to recalibrate it to the new studio.
Okay. Oh, well.
Well, you know, it goes along. I have started a group text with 3 of my kids called Gratitude is an Attitude. We decided that we were going to work on our neuroplasticity of rewiring our brains. So every day we have to text in 3 things we're thankful for. It's actually pretty entertaining. It ranges from puppies to coffee to, I could read through some of them. They're actually pretty funny, but I think there is something to being thankful. Maybe we need to stick with Thankful Thursdays.
That was actually the audience's choice because we didn't have a Thursday day. I can't remember if we did or not, but we flirted with T-Bone Thursday because all of our other days are about the food. I made a sound effect for that. Did not go over well with the audience. So then we tried Thankful Thursday.
Wait.
How do you make a T-bone sound?
What was it? Was it sizzling on the grill?
No, I think it was just the clip from Seinfeld where Costanza says something about T-bone steak, and then somebody else said, "How about we call you T-bone?" And then they all just start chanting T-bone, and that was the sound
That's
effect.
That's funny.
See, I think that's funny.
The audience didn't like it, so Thankful Thursday is what stuck, and now I'm gonna have to go back and re-upload the sound effect. But yeah.
Okay. Well, Thankful Thursday. Eventually we'll get to your text, and we will need to rewire our brain and work on neuroplasticity. It's brilliant.
It's a thing. I think science actually works.
It does. So, you can recalibrate, JP. We have a guest today at 3:30.
Senate Pro Tem Garland Gudger is calling in, which I think will be great. He'll hopefully give us a good update on what's coming in this legislative session. It's the last session of the quadrennium. So usually they like to pass all their really conservative things that they can write on their reelection campaign pamphlets. I'm hoping it's our year. We'll see, but we'll get an update from him. And yeah, we got lots other things to cover too.
Yeah, we do. So do we want to, how much time do we have? Could we go ahead and I will tell everybody how great Stan McDonald is?
We got plenty of time for the JP's Monster Miracle. What was the other one? Miraculous
montage. Mm-hmm. Okay. But before we do that, and I don't even need my glasses, Attorney Stan McDonald, partner at the law firm of Wilmer Lee, is a 30-year veteran in the practice of law in North Alabama. Not only will Stan advocate and fight for your legal needs and rights, but he's been an absolute warrior for causes near and dear to our Rightside ruffian community. Attorney Stan McDonald has represented his clients in literally thousands of real estate transactions over the years. When Stan McDonald is on your side, you have no greater friend. Line, please. Likewise, your adversary will have no greater foe. Attorney Stan McDonald at the law firm of Wilmer and Lee is an America first family man and an attorney who's vigilant for those he represents. You can call him today at 256-533-0202 and tell them you heard about it on Rightside. So here we are. Stand by for the news.
Time for news.
500,000 people getting benefits 2 times under the same name. 5,000 dead people. 80% of the able-bodied Americans, meaning they can work, they don't have small children at home, they're not taking care of an elderly parent, they can work and they choose not to work, of course, because they're getting significant benefits from the taxpayer.
It's kind of funny when you deal with this stuff. And I talked to the ethics people the other day. Everybody knows I make these crazy skateboards, and people asking, hey, sell me a skateboard. So I said, well, let me go check it out with ethics. I literally got to get attorneys involved to sell a dadgum skateboard. But if I want to do insider stock trading, just get elected to Congress.
And it's interesting. People say, well, people, as in members of Congress, will say there's no insider trading taking place in Congress. BS. Most members are making 600% returns after they're aware of the market shifts, after they are aware, former, of information coming to the floor, how it's going to pass. And so we're actually going for an outright ban on stock trading. And my opinion to my colleagues and my statement that I've made very publicly and clearly is if you want to trade stocks, go to Wall Street, but don't do it in Congress.
There's two reasons he's flipped. One, his rich and powerful friends who've donated to him. He doesn't want to embarrass them and they may in fact not even be guilty of a crime. But I think there's also the intelligence aspect of this that goes even deeper. Maybe Trump is on one plane and he's thinking, I can't embarrass my friends. But there may be people in the administration who are career people who are thinking on another plane. They're like, well, let's convince Trump he's going to embarrass his friends, when in reality what we're trying to do is protect our sources and methods, which may involve sex trafficking.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett just left the House floor, and I tried to do a UC, unanimous consent, of tried to get the Epstein files, get it straight to the floor, just to cut out all this nonsense. And, and the Democrats blocked it, oddly enough. Now here they've had it for 4 years. Obviously, if there's something there about Trump, they would have released it. And now they're all, let's get it out, let's get it out. Well, I just made a motion to bring it straight to the dadgum floor, and they blocked it. This is politics. It has nothing to do with what's doing what's right. And it's Washington, D.C. to a T. And again, they ought to be ashamed of themselves, but they're probably not.
Well.
He's just all over the place this week.
We had two Tim Burchett clips in our montage today.
Yeah, we
In
did.
the week of Tim.
By the way, may I add, today was another day y'all both sent me the same clip for the montage.
Really?
One of the same clips y'all both sent me.
Which one was it?
The first one about dead people on Snap.
It's like our voter rolls.
Hmm.
Dead people everywhere.
So, friends, I know in a minute we'll have to go take a break. Those were huge stories. I guess we just want to decide what order, because those were massive stories today.
I think, I don't know. There's so much there. Pelosi, did y'all see her percentage of insider trading?
Yes.
Insane.
Nuts.
I don't know why this is so controversial. There's also a story of what some senators, one from Alabama, added to did you see that? That was passed to open the government. They added in a few things, few $500,000 for themselves.
Oh yeah, it's a dandy.
Yeah.
I wonder who the Alabama one was.
You want to guess?
Was it in the
Well, you don't
Senate?
know the issue. Yeah, you don't know the issue.
If I
yet.
knew the issue, I could guess.
We'll
probably.
get to that on the other side too, because I think there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and I think it needs to be talked about. And then the Epstein stuff, dead people in Snap. I don't even know where you start.
JP, do you have a story preference to start when we come back?
I think we start off on the easier ones, I guess you could say, because the Epstein one is going to be heavy.
Yeah.
Maybe we save that one for maybe later in the show.
Okay.
That would be my input.
So do you want to do insider trading, shady trading?
I think
Or
that
do you want to do.
I think that's a good one to start
Okay.
on.
All right. We'll start with shady trading. After shady trading, we will talk about, Snap benefits.
Dead people on Snap.
Dead people.
Dadgummit.
I see dead people. And then Epstein. I've got a fantastic, if you can stomach it, podcast for you on that subject when we finally get there. A lot to talk about. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. In a surprise, or what a surprise, said no one ever, that there was some shady trading going on in DC.
I like that.
Was?
Is,
Yeah.
was, forever shall be. I mean, screw it. I'm picking this up today. Picking up my microphone. Sorry, JP. I told you I was going to.
I'm the one who told you you can't.
Okay, thank you. Now, look, if it would be even better if she was detached from her little housing, but it's fine. I'll be fine. So, guys, since we sent the same text in, which is hilarious that we keep doing that we're sending the same things in to JP. Great minds and all. Did you say, oh my word, I'm so shocked that there's insider trading?
No, I mean it's just what they do. I swear it's why they run. I mean, Nancy Pelosi is making a 17,000% better return.
Could you say that one more time for the people in the back?
It's actually 16,930% return on her investments. That's not even that I mean, at least hide it a little better.
Right.
Like if you're going to do it, try a little harder to not be so obvious. But they all do it. You go into Congress and you're a thrift store shopper and you leave and you're only at Barney's and all the great places. I mean, it's the most insane thing and everybody knows it and nobody will do anything and you can't do anything about it because they would have to ban it from themselves.
Kind of like Epstein. I digress.
It's a good lead in because I think it all goes together.
It does all go together. And nobody wants to cut this spigot off. It even goes back to what you said 2 days ago about, well, when John Kennedy was saying, well, here's what they do. They get in the back room. They're like, look, let's make it theatrical. Let's act like we care. Yeah. And then you take it this time. We'll take it next time. But now I think we understand a little bit better with Nancy Pelosi's like you can't even wrap your brain around the percentage of return that she's made on her insider trading. But you understand how when you make that much money, she started office with a $3 million net worth. And she's leaving office with $280 million net worth. Why? She says what she says. She does what she does. Who cares is what's always running through her brain. Remember last week or the week before, she looked at a reporter who asked a question she didn't like. And Nancy was like, shut up. That's how they all feel about us. It's just Nancy has made so much money that she really doesn't care. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's time we do something about this, but it's kind of like JP, you were talking about the Epstein thing yesterday. You're just kind of over it. And you're like, I mean, nothing's ever going to change. Term limits, whatever. It's never going to change. And some of our actually Republican, if you look at the list of the people that are the worst, it's the Republican congressional delegates. It's not just the Democrats. It's across the board. And they're shameless about it. And it's Tommy Tuberville. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's some of the ones you would never, and the, Menendez, he's on there too, but he's in federal prison.
Bobby.
Yeah. But it's just what they do. And then when we get to it, I'll tell y'all what else they're doing. There's just no shame up there for how they're okay with fleecing Americans. And it's almost like we're all okay with it. We're like, it's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I guess the good news is you can follow along and you can invest just like Nancy Pelosi.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways you can just
could.
do and do what she does.
Pelosi tracker app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can track any of
Truly.
them.
Which, by the way, Tuberville is also one of the people available on that app. But
Yeah.
well, the argument that I think it was Rick Scott that made and Ron Johnson, whenever, because there was a bill recently that failed to prevent senators or congressmen to trade stocks while they're in office. And the argument for it was, we need to be we need to be encouraging people to run for office, not making it to where, people don't want to run for office. And it's not very feasible for, to ask people who go and spend their time in DC to not, trade stocks and try to make money. But it's one of those jobs where it's like you almost can't do insider trading because you know more than everybody else in America. You know what bills are going to come up, and you know what's going to get shot down. You know what industry is going to get a boost with certain bills coming up. Like you can't not know because that's just the job.
Right.
So it's like you can't trade stocks without having knowledge that nobody else has. So it's like I understand, if we're trying to encourage people to run for office, keeping them from trading stocks is not a great way to do that. But also it's like, how can you trade stocks while being in that position without it being insider trading?
And why are they putting their friends in prison for it, but they're not going themselves? I'm thinking of Martha Stewart, a stockbroker herself who should know a thing or two, but she went to prison. So you see that there's a complete lack of any sort of accountability or transparency in their lives. And so that part is really hard to wrap your brain around. We really don't care because we have more money than God. So whatever. But you're right. It shouldn't be that hard to run for office. It shouldn't. And it is. It's actually miserable running for office. And I'd be hard pressed to ever try to do it again. Because you find out who your friends are and aren't, but you also realize you need a rhinoceros skin to do it. And you also understand that if you are an incumbent, it is yours as long as you want to have it. So the mandate to take dominion of culture, to do your best no matter what, is really hard because the odds are stacked against all of us. They just are. And so the best that we can do is stay involved, get engaged locally, state, nationally, whatever the case may be. School boards, your school board, your county commission. That's our best option. But to see the level of insider trading, honestly, my first instinct was, oh, that's why Nancy Pelosi is so mean.
Then to Tim Burchett's point, he makes these like homemade skateboards. You follow him. He skates boards a lot. And it's so stupid. You have to jump through so many hoops just to sell or give away a skateboard. It's the federal government for you. We've got to take a break. You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. Allison, before we went to break, you said you had a little dandy on some things that senators have been up to.
Well, along with all the information coming out about insider trading, which is nothing new, if y'all missed it, there was a provision that was slipped into the bill to reopen the government as it left the Senate, went to the House. It got to the House, and some House members, as they were reviewing the bill, were like, what the hell county is this? Because if y'all remember in 2022, Jack Smith, who is almost like talking about a cartoon character, he seems not real at this point. We've heard his name so much. Basically, the DOJ was accused of spying and tapping the phone lines of 8 Republican U.S. senators and 1 House member. And they got really basic data, but it was who called whom, how long they talked. I don't think it was in-depth tapping the phones to hear conversations. Nonetheless, there is this ongoing issue with the DOJ between these senators. Well, what these 8 senators did was slip into the bill that they would be awarded $500,000 each if the DOJ settled.
And never mind. Keep going. I'll
So
save my question.
these 8 senators are now going to get paid $500,000 from your tax money because they settled with the government that they serve. Because y'all see what I'm doing here?
Mm-hmm.
It is so self-dealing that this is the way you slip it in there because you know the pressure's on. They're going to have to pass it. It's too late because if they had taken that out, it would have had to go back to the Senate through conference committee to be approved or whatever. It just would have prolonged the whole thing. So these senators knew exactly what they were doing. Senator Tommy Tuberville was one that was spied upon and will now receive this $500,000 settlement, along with Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee, go Vols, Bill Haggerty from Tennessee, go Vols, Lindsey Graham. Oh, poor Lindsey.
He needs the money.
Lindsey Graham. We're just not dropping bombs like we were. So yes, he needs the money. Josh Hawley, Ron Johnson, Cynthia Loomis, Dan Sullivan that was it. It's just gross. It just gets gross. You're here to serve the people. We're in this national debt crisis time. And you're like, yeah, just give me more.
How are they going to spend that?
Tommy will spend it on the golf course and at the beach.
No, I mean spin. S-P-I-N. You're right. You're right. But I'm listening to the people that are generally fairly reliable. How are they going to spin this nonsense?
I mean, it's going to be Biden DOJ was bad and spied on me. That's going to be the spin, which is
Do you
correct.
have a baby crying like
they're going to say this is their remedy. You know, we have been targeted. But I don't know if I'm as much opposed to. It's just the way they did it too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so under the radar. So they knew what they were doing. It was just shrewd. And again, it's throwing the pork in all the bills because that bridge that your town, they're going to pass it because they don't want to send it back to committee. And so you just start shoving stuff in to the tune of $500,000 like it's no big deal.
Well, I mean, how come it can't just be if they settle, and then whatever they get, they get. But now it's written in the law. They have to not only get money, but get, was it $500,000 each?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it's also like how Mitch McConnell snuck in the hemp decriminalization reversal or whatever in the Senate bill. It's like, why? Can't it just be a clean? See, I guess that's asking too much. Just have a clean
clearly.
anything. But it's just like slimy Washington. Yeah.
And then they threw the House member that was the one, 8 senators and 1 House member, totally threw them under the bus, which I'm not sure I can look up and see who it is because they wouldn't go back and add it on the House side. Because again, then it has to go back to the Senate. So all the senators are taken care of. And this
like one House member.
Poor guy or gal is out there $500,000. It's just sad. I don't know. I I hate to be a Debbie Downer today, but I might be.
No, I feel ya. We went through some arbitration with our son, and I can tell you that it is outrageous that people would benefit from, "Oh, I'm so sorry you've been spied on." Okay, but you're our reliable Republicans. I think that's what's so upsetting, because when you go through the process and you think something good is going to come out of a billion-dollar corporation treating residents like absolute crap and not caring for their life, and they end up winning out in the end. And then you see Republican leaders who, "Oh, so sorry you've been spied on." And you get $500,000 for your pain and suffering. No wonder even the ones that were generally for, who generally do good things, go, "Come on, guys." Like, we've been the little guys. We are the little guys forever. Go ahead and solidify that you don't give a crap about us. Go ahead the next time you want us to speak up for you, because the rest of us who've been through garbage things in our lives and looked to the system to do something right and they didn't, you finish up and you go, "Yeah, it was always stacked against us." No matter what side you're on, it's always stacked against the little guy. It's always for the big guy. And that's where Democrats aren't wrong. That's where they get it right. That part of their complaints are for these massive corporations, for these leaders that seem to always win. I mean, we're laughing at Nancy Pelosi's 16,000% increase in her insider trading, and our people are doing it too. They just worked it in with sweet language and pain and suffering. And we're just supposed to go, "All right, okay, you guys deserve it."
It's our friend Scott Beeson, who he's such a good storyteller. But one of the very first stories I remember him telling us was that of the Rams that go to Montgomery, and the Rams are showing up at the State House, and the Rams are here to talk to us, and the Rams. And Scott was like, as a senator, I kind of finally started going, okay, wait, who are the Rams? Who are they talking about? Well, the Rams are me and you, the raggedy beep multitude that come to the State House to actually lobby on the side of the average man. And that's how our legislature, that's how the State House views them. Oh, the Rams are here. We got to go talk to the Rams. We got to go hear our constituents. They can't take us to the fancy steak dinners, but fine, we'll go listen to the Rams. That's how we're treated. And it doesn't matter where you are, Montgomery, DC, it's all the same. And I don't think people go into politics. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's like I said yesterday, you get there and there's this whole subculture, this whole world, and all these things just start to become normal. Well, everybody else is doing it. I mean, I experienced that when I did my internship with the Tennessee legislature. You first get there as an intern, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing that. I can't believe they're talking about that. I can't believe they're going there. And then by then you're like, I mean, everybody does it. And you catch yourself, and it kind of catches you off guard, because you start to kind of normalize behavior and actions and thoughts and attitudes that you never would before. And that is exactly what's happening. And then meanwhile, we get screwed every time.
It would be so great if by chance, and they really did want to run it back through conference committee. Can you imagine if somebody said, you know what, of those 8 plus the rep, we're going to give it back? Can you imagine? I mean, I love Marsha Blackburn. I really do. I think she's great. I think Tommy Tuberville's great. Bill Haggerty, I follow him a little bit, but mainly those are the two that and Katie Britt, we follow because we're from Alabama. But can you imagine the credibility that they would gain if they would say, you know what? That's just the price of doing business for serving you guys. And so we got spied on. I mean, y'all are complaining about President Trump and all the gajillion dollars that have been ripped from his pocketbook for running for office and for serving the American people. And y'all decided to get yourselves $500K per person. Why? What if you had enough, I don't know what the words would be, to say, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm going to give it back.
That reminds me. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Tommy Tuberville going to donate his salary? Am I making that up?
I bet our listeners would know.
We might need to chat GPT.
I know Katie Britt was. I don't know about Tubbs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Gary Palmer when he said he wasn't going to run. He was only going to run for 5 terms or what. Like, just don't make the promise if you're not going to do it.
Yeah, please.
I need to look that up. I could be making that up, but I don't know if it's in them. I really don't. But that's a great idea, Abs. Maybe they're listening.
They used to listen to us before. We have great respect and appreciation. We're not always going to agree. So I just respectfully submit the question or your consideration for returning that money.
Hey, maybe that's what the plan is. And I'm okay with it. Maybe they want to use this to look really good on the other side when they hand it back to the people of America. I don't know. They do that all the time.
Thought. It's a really good thought. Huh.
Maybe.
You're welcome for her idea.
I mean, I like it. I don't think any one of them will do it. Because if they actually felt like had some moral conviction about it, they'd stop insider trading too. And that's not going to happen.
No, it's not. Which is why we exist, to tell you the truth, because we know you have busy lives, but to tell what's going on and who's doing it, even when it's our people. That's why we're here, to tell the truth every day.
On the other side, are we going to talk about dead people snapping?
Can we?
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
It's insane.
Didn't know that was possible. But they vote too. Who knew? You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP talking about what's going on with our senators, what's going on with insider trading, shady trading. But this is the kind of perfect segue to our 3:00 hour conversation because it's hilarious, because we're reading your text, and thank you for them. And thank you for your hilarity and insight. But Mike from Florence, dead people on Snap reminds me of the people that post happy birthday on the pages of the people that have died and they didn't know it. And they still do it year after year. I guess someone should tell them. That's funny.
It is a whole thing because my mom died 6 years ago. Wait, almost 6 years ago in February. And nobody knows her Facebook login. So like we can't take it down.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I guess note to self, leave all your passwords. So if you eat it on 280, people don't keep telling you happy birthday. But yeah, I mean, and you're just trying to be nice and you just don't know what you're doing.
I just had a friend request.
From a dead person?
Yeah, but it was suggested. It's one of those suggested friend requests. And I looked at it and I was like, she dead. What? So perhaps that family doesn't have Meemaw's login either.
We're going to give them a pass.
I give you a pass, and I'm really sorry because that would happen to me. Probably
not
today,
that tight.
I should go put it in my file because Chris has this very well organized.
Yeah.
And put it in the file. Here's my songs for my funeral, and here are all my passwords.
Yep.
Basically, you'll find out why we keep getting listed in the data breaches, because I use the exact same password.
Oh, don't tell everybody that.
I changed it. By the way.
It's too much to remember.
I changed it. It is too much to remember. But anyway, that's a funny comment. It's absolutely right.
But 5,000 people, dead people, getting SNAP benefits, which I guess means somebody's at the mailbox waiting for the card to come in, or I guess they took the card and wait for it to get reloaded. And then they said 500,000 people are getting double payments.
Double.
And I think most of those, did y'all see the numbers that came out on who was actually on food assistance and SNAP?
Yes.
I'd like to go back and find that if we can, but it's not Americans.
No, ma'am, it's not. It was, this is an important segment in the 3:00 hour, because for all the people that are horrified that we're talking about SNAP and that we want to right the ship because, people will starve. Y'all need to dig in to these numbers and to dig into who's holding us hostage with their SNAP. And it's not us.
It's not. And I don't know. We don't have time right now to go into it, but I do think it's a worthwhile discussion to talk about historically who, and we kind of teased it the other day, has cared for the true orphans, widows, and outcasts that need assistance. A lot of these people on these benefits just don't. They're just lazy. They just don't want to work. They want to sell their SNAP benefits for cash so they can go buy whatever it is. It's just a racket. It is all a racket. And I think what's most disappointing is things like yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw Scott Bessent on, he was on Fox, and he was talking about they want to give a $2,000 tariff check to families that are making less than $100,000 a year. So the money they make from the tariffs, if you make less than $100,000 a year, you can get $2,000 rebate. Sounds great. But again, all the wealthy people who are paying more and buying more are giving into the system, and then all the poor people are getting the benefit of it with their $2,000 check. It's wealth redistribution, just with like an added step. And it's so weird that we're okay with this. We see this and we're like, yeah, that sounds great. And snap, oh, but people need it. It's a racket. And
Yes.
this Republican administration is allowing it to continue and actually suggesting new ways to redistribute wealth. And then the 50-year mortgage thing, I think we've passed that. But some weird stuff coming out of DC. And I just don't think, Abs, you could tell me I'm wrong. Do you think they actually do anything about the SNAP abuse?
No. No, I think, look, Trump has had a bad week. Okay.
Bless it.
Just in case nobody knew,
Bless
he's
it.
had a bad week. He could turn that week around by promising that there would be prosecutions or some sort of accountability. But while we're just rattling off all the things that they did, we're all thinking if it were us, we would be in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
And when it comes to even our final discussion of the day, Epstein, where are the prosecutions? I could back up to COVID. Where's the accountability and prosecution? There is none. So we can rattle this off, and it is horrifying, and it needs to be rectified immediately. But do I really think they will? No. Unless somebody's gotten to Trump and said, dude, you've had a horrible week. Not only are you going to be horrified by this SNAP situation, but here's what you need to say after that. Here's how we're going to hold people accountable. That would turn his horrible week upside down. Oh, and also give money back to the American taxpayer.
You're
Is it-
asking for a lot, Abs.
It's because I've had caffeine and I'm full of hope. I'm full of hope. By the end, I won't feel that way. I'm just saying.
Oh, do you want me to take us out?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what the look is?
Yeah.
You're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back. JP's over there yawning. It's only 3.
Well,
You need.
You're doing things.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make you some coffee?
No, I got my Reese's right here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll refuel real quick.
Okay.
It'll lock
All
back
right.
in.
Okay,
You got
good.
it.
Look, we know you're doing the things. Your comments on our text line 833-687-4448, 833-687-4448 are great as we were talking about tariffs, as we now will really dive into the SNAP situation. Y'all probably all saw it and were shocked. I'm kidding. No one was shocked. Also, this hour we'll start by saying, in a surprise, we found people receiving benefits twice. We found illegals on SNAP. What a shock, said no one ever. Ever.
And just like the next news cycle, SNAP was all the talk. Reform SNAP, save SNAP, get rid of SNAP, SNAP abuse. And now we're on to the next topic. And just like that, nothing will change.
Well, what I was looking at was, obviously we know that this is a nationwide issue, but I found a story from September from the Wall Street Apes. This was just Virginia. Can you imagine if they did not just a nationwide search, but a state by state? Virginia is looking at a $270 million penalty from the Trump administration. An audit found they've been overpaying SNAP food stamps benefits for over a decade and have a program error rate of 11.5%. More than 1 in 10 people is being overpaid and has been overpaid for a decade.
Where does that money come from?
Allison, that's a great question.
How do you surely somebody's looking at an account somewhere and like, oh, we're missing some money. But for 10 years, nobody noticed?
So, because we like solutions, you said that on Monday. We like solutions. I hope you'll tell us all the little details about SNAP. But we want to know who should be supporting friends and neighbors who need help. Who are the people that are on SNAP? Probably that question first. Who are the people that are actually on SNAP? But also, who should be supporting friends and neighbors on SNAP? And finally, how do you reform it? Benny Johnson has a good answer to that. It's very basic. I'll save it. But this idea, all day, insider trading, oops, 8 of us get $500,000. Oops, we've got a problem with SNAP. People are receiving double benefits. Gosh, how many illegals are on SNAP?
Yeah, I was just looking for that demographic that I saw that.
And I think I even saved it a few days ago because the story has been boiling since the shutdown started. Everybody was keeping an eye on air traffic control and travel. Would this be fixed by Thanksgiving? And will people receive their benefits? I find it funny, though, that the people who say they demand their benefits, and last weekend, if they hadn't gotten their benefits, they were going to go rob stores. Somebody on Libs of TikTok had a repost, which shows that they actually could be working. If they have enough energy to go rob a store.
Yeah. Actually, if you have time to plan that and think through that and execute, and at least execute it well, you can probably get a job.
I mean, I was just saying.
So why are we here? I guess that's my question, because we haven't historically always been here. There have been people that were in need, people in short term that needed to bridge that gap. But why are we here to the disgusting degree that we are?
Father government. Do you think? I think,
yeah.
I mean, the government took over what should never have been allowed to happen. LBJ, well, starting with FDR, LBJ took over, rewarded women for being in the home without a spouse, paid for their benefits, just broke up the family dynamic. And now we're here with people saying they'll fight you for food versus the people who are genuinely in need,
Right.
going to neighborhood food banks, quietly living their lives, doing their very best. We want to support those people. But this entitlement culture that we've created around an area where the government had no right to step in. Allison, you said this last week, and I think you said it again this week. What was the government's main 2 jobs?
To protect
Mm.
and personal property and life and a military and maybe roads.
About it.
Pretty basic, pretty simple, actually. Very simple. And for some reason, we now are in all these areas that we were never intended to be in. I don't know how you get out of it, though. You could do away with it really quickly, and you would have some disaster. But at some point, I'm kind of like, with so many things that we see happening across America and the globe, somebody's got to rip the Band-Aid off and be the bigger person and make it happen. But I think the bigger picture of what's happening is we were designed. I mean, God made us to work, to create, to build things, to do things. Even in the garden, he gave Adam and Eve jobs to name the animals, take dominion, and to care for the garden. It was a perfect world. And even God said then, it was good for you to work. It's good for you to create. It makes you get up in the morning and to be motivated. It makes you the best version of you. So when you are constantly handing out these free things to people, you are denying them to experience the fullness of how God made them. And I think that's really why we are where we are. It's this terrible cycle that we just can't get out of. We've destroyed the family, like you said, with rewarding single families. The more kids you have out of wedlock, the better. They don't have a father. The church has fallen away. And now we're just stuck in this muck and this mire. And it's not pretty. And it's not producing anything good.
No, it's not. It's creating entitlement. It is creating arrogance. It is creating things that should not be. And I think I really agree with Brad, who just texted in and said 100% of SNAP beneficiaries are overpaid. SNAP is unconstitutional. Don't reform it. Abolish it. You know what, Brad? I think you're right. I agree with you. And I think many of our listeners would agree. Now, that means that the church, and this is one area where the church does a really good job, and I know of programs that are going on in Huntsville, that are going on up in Hampton Cove, out that way. I know of food banks in Auburn and plenty of places in Birmingham. The church is doing a pretty good job on helping the poor and supporting them. But that's where the church should step in. Mm-hmm. We should know one another and share everything that we have if somebody needs it. Not so that it is the old cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason, not a handout, but a hand up. And for a period of time. But the idea that it was outrageous to require work requirements to get SNAP. No, I think Brad's right. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
I was just reminded of something that the legislature passed. Actually, it was a constitutional amendment. So the people of Alabama passed it a few years ago where you can't force prisoners to work. Do you remember this?
Oh, I do. Oh, I've put that out of my mind.
So what is our aversion in America? It's how we were built, on hard work and grit, and we had nothing. I mean, think about the settlers. I mean, there was nothing. But we had the motivation and the grit and the power to get through and to build the greatest nation ever. And now we're so weak and limp-wristed that we can't even make our prisoners work. I mean, if you really are going to prison to reform, I can't think of anything better than to get in there and create and do something that you're proud of at the end of the day, instead of just rotting in a cell doing nothing. It's this weird aversion we have. You look at what they're doing in our schools of dumbing everything down. We're getting rid of the gifted programs. We're getting rid of all these things because we just want you to be comfortable and really shouldn't have to work that hard. And it's such a disservice to our kids and to Americans in our country. I think that's really where a lot of this stems from. Why you're looking at stupid $2,000 tariff checks when I can't remember who was it that said we've got $38 million. No, not million, trillion dollars in debt. But we're still giving handouts because that's our number one priority is to give handouts.
Yep.
Yeah. The whole point of the tariffs was to put the money down on our debt. So why? I mean, this is something to help win in the midterms is stuff like this, because then they think back to the tariff check they got before they vote. But yeah, all that money should be going to putting down our debt like it's supposed to, not the 2000 to, I mean, I don't even know how many Americans will be getting that. A ton. So yeah, it's going to end up canceling itself out.
Yeah, it is. Man. Okay. When we come back, we'll get to your text. Thank you for sending them. You guys have fantastic ideas. So we'll talk about it.
Look, Jenkins wants to ask about IVF too. That was a good conversation yesterday.
And then don't forget at 3:30, we have a guest. We have a great guest. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair with Amy Beth Shaver and JP. JP doesn't have a last name. He's just a J and a P. So we've got some great texts coming in, actually. And one I want to start with. I haven't even opened the whole text, but Bobby from Huntsville says, I think it says, what about people who are on, I only got the D, but I'm going to think it says disability.
Yep. What about people who are on disability that can't work?
I think we should define the terms on that.
Mm-hmm.
What does can't work mean? Does that mean,
I mean, it's,
like, I've got a headache, I can't work?
well, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who are genuinely disabled and genuinely can't work, but I think that number is way, way smaller than it currently sits at in the disabled part, and the ones who get benefits because they can't work, but they actually can. So then why can't the SNAP and, benefits in general be constantly, updated and like our voter rolls are supposed to be? Like,
That's funny, JP.
That's good, JP.
Notice how I put the supposed to be at the end. But like, yeah. I know we're in Alabama, but I mean, West Allen claims to, be doing all this amazing work with, and I have no reason not to believe him, with the Alabama voter rolls. And, when you go in and people like Elon with Doge go in and you see all of the fraud that was just going on for years, and somebody just had to go in and look at it and delete it. Like, how is it too much to ask for, A, our voter rolls, but B, the SNAP to be constantly just so that dead people aren't getting SNAP? Like, I feel like that's not too hard to ask.
Yes, that is too much, JP.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You're talking about the government.
I'll pull back my comment. Yeah.
It's too much. And disability is a complicated, because you were talking about your personal experience of someone who would do disability interviews and had to step away from that job because they couldn't lie. They couldn't actually say someone was disabled when they clearly were not, but they just wanted to receive the benefits. I probably fall in the camp that, again, that's not the government's job. Maybe for a bridge, maybe for a gap, a period of time, in severe hardship, people that don't have family, that don't have a community. I don't know. It's a hard discussion, but I don't think that was in the founding fathers' vision. And if that's where you go back to for what we are as a country, that's where you go back to. And I get it.
I agree.
I mean, our nation
But there were still disabled people back in 1776.
Yes. Like, our nation was literally founded on guys who got pissed off on a little 3% tax on imports, and they literally overthrew the government. And now we're relying on taxes to keep people fed. Like, no, that's not how the system was meant to be.
Well, and we're not saying people shouldn't have help if they need help.
Right.
But our definition of who needs help is very different than the government's, definition. You get disability, you get disability, you get disability. That's very different. And again, brings back in the charitable groups, starting with the church and your family, and then other opportunities. But that's not the way our government, that's not way it's designed to work. It's just not. And that's the uncomfortable truth, like you were saying. I mean, I told you yesterday, or perhaps the day before, we've been on trips before where I had the opportunity to see the way the ancient world did it. And it was the church directly across from the hospital, and a place for people to sleep, a place for people to get rehabbed, a place for people who needed help, directly across, like literally across the street. One of the oldest hospitals in the world. So if we really want to wrestle back control of our lives, that is one way that we can do it.
I just got a text from my husband, Jared. Shout out to you for listening, because I think a lot of times he doesn't. He like cheers me on. He's like, I just didn't have time. But he's listening today. And he reminded me of literally how the national parks will not let you feed the animals. Why not?
Why not? I mean,
I know the answer.
You
but I
know
wish
the
you could
answer?
say it, yeah.
Because they lose the ability to feed themselves when they're dependent on someone else. And
That's. I was
think
actually going to
that-
say that yesterday with your goose story. Like y'all were teaching that goose to
Yeah,
rely on
that
people.
Poor goose.
Yeah.
And that's
Goose
why I
was
had to
such a
follow
good
that lady
story.
home.
hmm
But it's true. It's human nature. People lose the will and the ability to take care of themselves. Why would you when everybody will step in and it's just free?
Well, think about the outrage over the NGO and people's different responses to it. We're like, thank the Lord we've discovered all of the waste, fraud, and abuse going on with NGOs. And other people are like, I can't believe Trump is that mean that he would take this away from people. That was never our government's right or responsibility to do anything with those NGOs ever. And
Yeah.
yet we have millions of people dependent on funding they should have never received in the first place. We need to reorient our priorities.
Jared, if you're listening, you should stick around because your friend Garland Gudger's coming on next, Senate Pro Tem. We hope he's calling in. But you're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. A couple of fun things while we are connecting with Senator Gudger. I heard this quote today. It said that we're in trouble when something starts as an option and then it becomes an obligation. It's kind of so many things in our government. The other thing that I loved was a Milton Friedman quote from this morning, and I was listening to him. So attractive to do good at someone else's expense.
Boy, don't we know that all too well?
True.
Yeah, whether it's kids
apropos.
or friends or coworkers, whatever it is, not y'all. It's so easy to do this and do that and throw things around when it's not your money, it's not your time, it's not your energy, it's not your risk. And you just kind of live in that space and it's really comfortable. Who was it that wrote in and said, if you put a perfectly able-bodied person in a wheelchair and push them around every day, eventually they lose the ability to walk? I think that's where we are. All right, we have Garland. Okay. Is he on video or did he call in?
He's on video. He's on there
Hey,
now.
Garland.
Look
Where
at
are
you
you?
guys. How are you guys? This is my house.
That is super cool.
Your house is awesome.
Thank you. I have a loft, and so I've been fixing it up for a while. So just got back in from the store and ran up here so I could actually have some quiet, because if I'm at my store, you wouldn't get audio or visual, either one. So please forgive me.
Well, you are our first video guest, so thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I want to surprise you and give you a little something extra for you ladies. I appreciate you having me on today.
Well, hey, Jared Sinclair is actually watching.
Oh, Big Jared. That's right. Tell him I said hello.
Well, he wanted to know why your name is Mango Man.
There's a long story to that. I don't know if we want to put that on air anyway, but he and I used to be roommates when we lived overseas, and so there was some allergic reactions to a fruit that he wanted me to get out of the tree one day. So I climbed up there and got it, and man, it was bad. It was real bad. You tell him I said hello.
I will. So yeah, Garland and my husband lived in Hawaii. It was hardly overseas for a summer. And Garland is known around my house as, the guy that Dad lived with, where they didn't have electricity and they ate rice all summer.
Exactly.
Yeah. But thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. I think you're our first elected official too.
Yeah. Well, good.
Man, look at you go.
We need to make this more often, and I appreciate you guys having me on. So thank you so much, and give an opportunity just to talk to the people and to talk to you guys. I've been missing y'all on air, so I'm glad to be back and listening to you guys as well.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Before we get started, I figured for listeners, for all of us, you were newly elected to the Senate Pro Tem position.
Mm-hmm.
But what in the world does the Senate Pro Tem do, and why are you important?
That's a great question, and I get that a lot because people are used to the name Speaker of the House, but it's the same equivalency in the Senate. Someone has to be in charge of the Senate, and so that is my title, Senate Pro Tem. And so I would look at casting a vision for the whole Senate of where we're going and listening to all 35, I'm 35th, so 34 senators and what they need. And so I've kind of have to represent everyone in the Senate the same way the Speaker does. Now, again, to be very clear, there are minority leaders in each house and there's majority leaders in each house. And obviously that changes if it's Republican or Democrat. But the Speaker of the House and the Pro Tem are the ones that are kind of at the top that work together with the governor as the three highest ranking officials to go forward with the Lieutenant Governor, of course, as we cast our vision for where Alabama wants to go and what we have coming in our particular respected House through the Alabama State Senate. So that's really my job. But I want to be fair to everyone that is influential and won their race in the Alabama State Senate. And that's part of my job, is to make sure that everyone's fair. And at the same time, we are putting out what the people want us to put out. I'm going to stop right there on the political answer there. I'm going to give you Garland Gudger's answer. Can I do that?
Yep.
Yes.
That is to make sure that we put God first and make sure we put family second, and then we bring politics, work third, and then politics. But we understand how politics and legislation affects everyone in the first three of my priorities that I just said. But the key for me is making sure that we have the right morals and we have the right mindset, and that we do that with class and quality and character. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to be pro tem. This will all be voted on again with an inter-body vote of the Senate, the same way the Speaker of the House will be voted on in an organizational meeting in January of 2027, going into the next quadrennium. But as for now, I'm the pro tem for this next session, and the Speaker of the House, Nathaniel Ledbetter, and I are getting along very well and working very closely together. So that's where we are.
So speaking of the upcoming session, what is your vision? What are you hearing from the people that they are looking for most from y'all? And on our end, as citizens, what can we do to help make that happen?
That's a great question. I'm going to take that in a couple different parts, if that's okay.
Yep.
First, what am I hearing from the citizens? I'm hearing how can we relieve financial stress, financial burden that is on us through inflation, and that comes all the way, obviously, from the federal government down to the state, and then even local. But a cost of milk is not the same as it was 5 years ago, much less 10 years ago. And is there anything that we can do to help the people on a fixed income? That's for sure, so that they are able to help with that, help with health care and having delivery systems to everyone in this state, and making sure that we look at not only the healthcare delivery system, but also food security. I mean, we just saw what happened with SNAP, up at the federal government. And if, just like you guys, every food bank and every church really came to work to make sure that they help their community. But if something like that happens again, nutrition is pretty tough to feed everyone in this state. And we need to have a backup plan and a safety plan to do that. And so we worked with some local charities and food banks to do that. But that's something that we want to make sure that if there are some elderly people that are homebound and can't get out, we want to make sure that they are covered, right? And children that are going home from school, that they have somebody there, number one, that's going to love them, make sure they have the right hygiene, and make sure that they get tucked in at night. But then number four, making sure that they have food in their belly too, because your basic needs for those children, they have to be met before they can be educated. So those are some of the ones that come to my mind. The one focus that I have personally that's really taken off is the rural roadmap. I'm not sure if you've heard that, but the word rural is kind of like I sell antiques for a living. Okay, so I'm gonna make an analogy to that. I sell architectural salvage and what it amounts to building supplies that from 1880 or 1890. All right, so from that, the word antiques has this huge umbrella of a word. But you have furniture underneath that, you have glassware underneath that, you have collectible underneath that, you have architectural salvage like I sell underneath that. Rural Alabama, the word rural is the same way. You have rural healthcare, you have rural agriculture, you have rural small businesses, you have rural quality of place and trying to get tourism to these smaller towns. And all of those entities under the word rural is different than their urban counterparts. They're not worse, they're not better, but the key is do they have one focused voice when it's in the State House to be able to compete, to make sure that the next up and coming students and the up and coming businesses have the same opportunities as the urban sections do. And so we have really went out throughout the state, put 6 different boards together that is under this rural roadmap, the speaker and I, and then from that got a cross section of each one of those that I just said, some of the best and most qualified experts throughout the state in different geographical regions, and really just had a roundtable discussions, right? What do you think we need to do? What is working? What is not working? And from that, there's been some really great common denominators on each one of those boards and commissions that have really kind of raised their heads up. And so our goal is to pull those common denominators together so that this session, if there's any low-hanging fruit, be able to go ahead and go after that. If not, wait till the next quadrennium and really get a good strategic plan of how we can help everyone in this state, from urban and rural, but our focus right now is just on rural. So the next 5 years for Garland Gudger, I'm going to be focused on rural Alabama.
I don't know if you were listening before you came on, but we were having a whole discussion about, it's funny you bring this up, about the role of government and what, founding fathers versus where we are today and how much government is involved in well, we were specifically talking about SNAP and disability and things like that. the rural roadmap for Alabama, where's the line that you don't cross? Like, at what point is there too much government in what maybe should be? And you brought up the churches and the community food banks and things like that, working hand in hand, yes, but where, I call it daddy government. Like, where do you draw the line of where you're just allowing people to be dependent on the government versus actually helping the people to better themselves?
I'm going to answer this in two parts. One is, I'm a community servant government guy, right? So if you think bigger government is the answer to the SNAP programs or to any of that we talked about already, I'm not your guy. I want it to be smaller government, less regulations, less restrictions, less permitting, to make it as efficient as possible. Our job is to enhance the things that the communities are doing well, not to come in and take over and start a whole new bureaucratic system. And I truly believe that. As a small business guy, I see firsthand how government, including state government, interacts with us, which is not very much except for when it comes tax time. But we're paying taxes in 10 different ways, more regulations, the red tape that my wife has to go through just for payroll that I was just dealing with 20 minutes ago. And so there's items that we can correct at the state government to make life easier on the people that we work for, period, right? We work for the people that are in our district and for the people in the state of Alabama. And we never need to lose sight of that. So how do we create an environment of that same mentality in the State House? Just to be very clear, I think there's some people that might not believe that in the State House, that they want more government because it gives them more power and control. That's not who I am. And so as I'm being the leader of the Alabama State Senate, I think my colleagues in the Senate realize exactly where I am, and they're following in suit. And I believe they believe that as well. The best way we can help people is to get out of the way, just like Ronald Reagan said. And I want to continue that motto.
So when you talk about the roadmap, you're talking more deregulation and just supporting, in ways, like you said, that shrink government or at least don't grow it.
Yeah. So for example, small towns, the one thing that has raised its head already is small towns do not have a way to find out what grants are out there right now, right? If they had a road grant from ALDOT, if they had economic development grant from ADECA, a lot of the small town mayors and town councils are not interacting with their state government every day or their representatives, and I wish they would more, but sometimes they don't. So we're trying to say, what is working? The people that are using the grants, how do we enhance that so that they have an opportunity and a platform to get online and use the grant system, because it's money that they could get for their particular district. And so a grant portal is one. ADECA has one, but it's not all of the grants throughout the state. But it would be nice if a town council from Huntsville, Alabama could get online and say, tell me about all the grants that are going to be helping us with public safety, for the volunteer fire departments, for the sheriff's department, for the EMS, for the dispatchers. And it just has a list of 20 different grants. Right now, we don't have that. And so just things that the government could do to make it more efficient, so that those tax dollars, if we don't use those, are going to go to another state or somewhere else. And so we want to make sure that we capture those in the state of Alabama. But that's just one example of some of the things that are rearing their heads up through these meetings.
We have to take a break. We didn't discuss time, but I'm hoping you can stick with us till the top of the hour.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I've got a few questions of just specific bills and maybe topics that I'm curious if you think they're coming our way.
That sounds great.
So you're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. Thrilled to be joined by Senate Pro Tem. That sounds so serious. Because it is.
Reminds me of fried food. Tempura.
Tempura shrimp.
That's what I want to add there. But
Pro Tem.
Yeah.
Garland Gudger.
Mr. Fancy.
Hello, sir.
Fancy. I like that. I don't get called fancy very often. That's nice.
So real quick, we only have about 3 minutes. I want to ask you, I'm calling this the lightning round. A few things is this, because you said this is what you're hearing from the citizens. I want to know what you're hearing in the halls and on the Senate group chats.
That's
Tell those things.
Yeah, I can. I've made a list earlier of some things that I'm just hearing. You want me to do those in general, or do you want to bring some things up? How do you want to do that?
Well, I mean, we could keep you the rest of the show, but you have a job. I think let's just go general, and we'll have you back on, and we'll dig into some of the issues.
All right. I was just making a list of just thinking of different items that some of my colleagues have been talking about in the State House. So this works out perfect. But there's going to be some education bills for sure, some workforce development bills, and funding for regional workforce career tech for the K through 12, like we did last year. That'll be coming up again. I know the speaker is very high on that and doing a great job with it. There's going to be some healthcare bills, rural healthcare bills that'll be coming out, competitive tax code bills, so that we're trying to lower the burden on hardworking Alabamians. And so I think that's important. And the seniors on a fixed income. Those two are pretty large right now for us as far as priorities. You've got the Alabama State Athletic Association's issue. I know that is a big issue with some of the leadership, and so they're going to be handling that as it comes forward. But we had our caucus meeting this past Monday, and it was brought up from different people when we went around the room from our colleagues. So there'll be something on that. And then, as you well know, we're in the middle of redistricting right now. And so I'm neck deep in all of that, trying to make sure that we keep the people that we need to keep in the Alabama State Senate, and fighting the people and some of the evil that's in Washington, D.C. So that's been a very interesting course of action for me the last few months. But we're working hard. We have the right people in place, and we're trying to make sure that we do the right thing for the state of Alabama. But those are kind of the 30,000-foot view.
Okay, well, none of my questions were on your list.
No. That's a surprise.
So quickly, gambling.
That is going to truly be in the Senate, a caucus vote, if we want to bring that up or not. So I'm just going to let everybody know now. There are people that did not vote for it last time that want to vote for it this time, and vice versa. That vote depends on the devil is in the details and what those details say. And so that will be something that my job is to get everybody in the ship and rowing in the same direction. If my ship does not want to be rowed in that direction, then we're not going to go down that path. And I will let people know sooner than later when that comes up. But as of right now, I do not see that coming up.
Okay. That's okay.
All right.
Expanded funding for school choice.
That is going to be talked about, but that will be brought up. Yes.
One near and dear to my heart.
Oh, please say yes on this one.
The Senate killed it last time it passed the House. And you know what I'm going to say? The gender ideology bill that would expand it through K through 12.
Yeah.
That Mac Butler's carrying. I don't know if he has you could sponsor it in the Senate. That'd be great.
It's hard for me as pro tem to be able to do that because I've got to run pretty much the floor. But I believe there is a senator that's close to where you live that really would like to do that anyway. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna have to reach out on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obscenity.
The library obscenity bills.
There'll be library bills coming up for sure.
Okay. Good.
Garland's regretting this right about now.
Yeah, I've got to go.
I got to go. Well, Amy Beth has one more question real quick.
Okay. And literally 30 seconds. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Thank you for asking. It's been a tough 16, 17 months on my body. And had people that don't know, the reason she's asking that, I was in a boating accident and was med-flighted to UAB and had 8 broken vertebrae, 7 broken ribs, collapsed lung. My artery was ripped apart from my spleen, and then I lost my sight for about an hour and a half. For a month and a half. So I'm better and feeling good now. Thank you for asking.
Good. I'm glad you're better. Thank you for joining us today. It is an honor to have you, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. You're listening to Right Side. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair with Amy Beth Shaver and JP. Great interview with Garland Gudger. He is a great guy. I think I wanted to ask him if it's hard to be fair to the Democrats.
Oh boy.
Because that would be hard for me.
Yeah.
I get it. You represent all the people. But I wonder if sometimes he goes, I really don't want to represent you today. I'd like to take the day off.
Yeah. Can we just focus on our friendship, but your policies?
Not so much.
Don't agree with those policies. Okay. As we're going to talk about the story we mentioned that we would discuss from our first hour, which was Epstein. Everyone, alert, alert, alert. Eric Swalwell.
Fang Fang?
Fang Fang has been referred to the Department of Justice over allegations he submitted false information on a mortgage application for a $1.2 million home in D.C.
That's stupid.
Right?
Why would you? Okay, $1.2 million dollars.
Which
is
in the
not
D.C.
a
area,
lot.
you're not talking about a big house.
No.
That barely buys anything.
So is he that broke?
Well,
Did Fang Fang take her money and run?
how about he's that broken on the inside?
Well, what did
He's
he lie
bereft
about?
of morals. He lied on his mortgage application.
I know, but what did he say?
Well,
I'm 5'10"
it's-
and I'm really 5'6"?
Girl,
Because I think he's little.
well, I don't know about that. I just know that he submitted false information on his application and it broke while we were over the break. So stay tuned.
Seems like a reason to go after him. I don't know. Maybe it's like a really bad thing, but is this like going after Tim Burchett because he sold a skateboard?
Perhaps, but I don't think so. I think we are at this point. So many people dislike Eric Swalwell just because, but lying on your mortgage application because you thought nobody was going to check, not smart.
But with insider trading, why would you need to lie?
I know, Allison.
I
They
don't get
pick and
it.
choose who their people are, who their star of the moment is and isn't. Which brings us to Epstein. We probably feel the same way about the files, but are we over it? Is it over it and we're disgusted? Are Trump's people being covered for? Because he didn't have anything to do with it. We would have known about it by now. From the first day he ran for office until now, we would have known immediately because the world made it their duty to point out any problem that he's been involved with.
I think I figured it out.
Please tell us.
Well, I have two theories. Because, for years, the Republicans released the Epstein files. Trump Jr., Trump releasing the files. That's what they ran on. The Democrats, Trump's in the files, release the files. So both sides have been using it. Last night, Tim Burchett, who's literally everywhere this week, brings it up, makes a motion on the floor to take a vote, and the Dems vote it down. Meanwhile, you have President Trump, who's using Pam Bondi and Kash Patel to take Lauren Boebert and Anna Paulina Luna into secret rooms. I don't think it was the Senate dining room, but into secret rooms to ask them to vote no on the motion to bring the Epstein files forward. That's weird. Then you have what came out yesterday, which is the media and the left trying to say Trump is in the files and he knew these girls were young, and they left out the part where, yes, he knew they were young and he was trying to stop it. But I think I've decided that Trump is in the files in terms of he's in the files. He knew what was going on and he tried to stop it. But I think all his friends are in the files and they knew what was going on and they really liked it. And so I think he's covering for his friends and trying to save them. Or there's some CIA, still some sort of investigation or honeypot trap going on that they don't want to ruin by releasing the information.
Ding, ding, ding.
You think that's it?
Yeah. Well, I think Massey, we played it in the montage. I think he kind of nailed it of I do think a lot of Trump's friends are in the files, and that may not even mean that they committed any crimes, but I think friends of Epstein, maybe people that flew with Epstein, or maybe there's also some that did commit crimes and are implicated in the files. But I think that is being presented to Trump from intel agencies. But the real reason is, I think there's more Epsteins out there. Maybe not as high figure, like profile, but I think it's pretty clear what Epstein was. I think he was an intel asset, foreign or domestic, or maybe both.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and he was arrested. What was it, in 2005, and kind of got like a slap on the wrist.
Yes.
So I think what that was the FBI or CIA, whoever, gathering information or gathering their devices or evidence or whatever of what was actually going on, and then he was just kind of let loose with no real punishment. So I think it's a real mess whenever you the people who want the files to be kept secret, because it's not just Trump. I think there's a reason for it, and I think it's really deep and dark. So I think that's the real reason.
I listened to The Mysterious Mr. Epstein this morning, just one episode, and it is disgusting. The idea that I agree with you. I agree with both of you. I think he was an asset that no one in a million years thought, this guy is so depraved. Some government somewhere, or several, are using him for intel on the people coming to his islands, his mansions, and whatever. But they talked about the 2005 slap on the wrist where he was put in jail. However, he only had to sleep there. He was free because he invented a charity that he had to run. And they decided to let him out every day so that he could go run the charity. And he just had to come back at night. They wouldn't lock him up. They told him that, it was really going to be trouble for him to stay in prison. It's just a lot, for Jeffrey. And so they kept his door open. They basically gave him free reign. The only kind of people who can have free reign like that are people who are gathering intel and who have friends in high places. The problem is that the person that was prosecuting the case in the first place, way back in 2005, was a man who did end up in Trump's first White House. So listening to that, you do kind of feel like you need to go out and spray yourself off with the hose.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Well, not only that, the U.S. attorney who was prosecuting him in 2005 said that he was told to back off because he belonged to intelligence.
So exactly. And what else though was troubling, as parents, can everybody not agree that if your daughter told you something was happening, the government or whoever went in to investigate, authorities in Miami, authorities in the Florida area, and everything they said was true? The pictures were on the wall where they said they were on the wall, the pink and green couch that they talked about, the massage, all the nasty stuff they said was there. And this man only ended up getting a slap on the wrist after abusing young women is unconscionable. So the idea that we're covering for people because maybe they're big donors does not leave a lot of room for hope in this situation. And so again, I think we put this back into the Trump didn't have a very good week category, because Pam Bondi was like, we're going to tell everybody everything. And Kash Patel, we're going to release the files, release the Kraken, and then nothing.
I think it's just too deep. I think it's too messy. It's too deep. It's too global. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was Mossad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I am 100% sure that the CIA was involved in it too. I mean, it probably would bring down world governments. And
agreed.
Maybe we can't handle the truth. I do think about, though, as a politician, how they have Trump with Ghislaine and they have all these pictures of him with Jeffrey Epstein. I think about Katie Britt, who I don't think sleeps. She looks like she has 8 hours of sleep every night. I don't know how she does it. How many people she takes pictures with? You don't know who you're taking pictures with. Mm-hmm. You're just walking up. Somebody, Senator, can I get a picture? You take a picture. So how many people in these files are just kind of like that? They were in the room, they were passing. I mean, maybe they're trying to protect some of those people, but I just can't see. I think it's just too dark and too deep and too sinister.
Yeah.
For us to handle.
And on the political side of it, like Burchett, who said the Democrats blocked him with his unanimous consent, motion. I think the Democrats at this point just want that political card of Trump not releasing the Epstein files rather than actually having the Epstein files released, because there's a lot of high profile Democrats that are also, I mean, maybe not currently serving, but in general, so I think they're just wanting it to be, a political tool to say that Trump's not releasing the Epstein files because he's in the Epstein files. But the files are going through oversight committee and being released, gradually. I think there was some grand jury testimony that was requested to be released with Epstein. I think a couple of them were actually denied. So there's no Epstein list. Like there's no notarized, laminated list of these people committed crimes with Epstein. The stuff that's public is like the flight logs and such. But there's no like customer list. So it's a bunch of files. It's kind of like the Kennedy files. It's a bunch of files where throughout the investigation, notes were taken by several different people, and you're going to get names of people that were mentioned, maybe not, did a crime. And, so it could be damaging to a lot of people if it comes out their name is in the files, but it doesn't mean they really committed a crime. So it's not as clean as I think people think it is, but I think that's why the Democrats are blocking like Tim Burchett from doing that, so that they can just point the finger at Trump. That's all they want to do. And I think the 218th signature on the petition that Massey and Ro Khanna brought up, which would force a vote on the House to release the files. I think the Democratic Congresswoman who was finally sworn in, and she was going to be like the 218 signatures, and then it has to be brought to the floor. But then what's really going to be interesting is, will it pass in the House? Like, how many people will actually vote to send it, to the Senate to release the files? I think can you imagine being in that position to be like, if I vote no on this, I am going to be eviscerated on both sides of the aisle. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting if they're put in that position, but I think it's dark and deep, but also not as like clean. Like, just release the list.
I agree. And I know we have to go to break, but I think it's really hard for Democrats and Republicans to claim to be for women and then not help them at all. The girls, the women who were abused and trafficked, to just not even help them. That's the part that doesn't sit well with me. So on that cheerful note, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. The day, I'm just going to pull it back. Welcome back to Rightside. Okay.
I like Rightside.
You're on the right side. Where else would you want to go?
Not left.
It's real hard to be wrong when you're on the right side.
That was good, JP. It's like you've said that before. Ah.
Pew, 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 pew.
So,
banger.
Allison has some hot flash news for us because we have a short segment.
Hit it.
Oh, wait. Okay. I didn't know we were doing it right now. Hold on. I got to get queued up.
Got a light.
Okay. Okay. Now we're ready.
Excuse me.
Before we start, who was it that texted in and gave KIV the benefit of the doubt and said she was trying to play the melody or something?
Oh,
and
yeah.
not
That was the nicest person ever.
Yeah, they're very sweet. I don't think that's the case, but
She's just bad.
so I realized yesterday we've never done hot flash news correctly because I keep talking. I'm reading the headline. I have
Okay,
not opened
okay.
the stories. I have not looked. I'm just reading the headlines, and y'all say swipe left if you want me to go to the next headline and you're not interested, or you say swipe right if you want me to
Okay.
dig deeper.
Are we gonna?
What if we disagree half and half? She wants
Then
to give
I get to choose
Okay, cool.
Okay.
because I'm having a hot flash
Okay. Let's go.
and I'm angry. You can now create AI avatars of your deceased loved ones so they can talk to your kids 30 years in the future.
I want to learn swipe right.
Swipe right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not loading.
This is a little
Yo.
unsettling.
This is from Not the Bee. Before grandma dies, don't forget to take a really good frontal video of her so your dystopian matrix ghost can live with you digitally for the rest of your life. Two Ways app allows users to create interactive avatars of deceased loved ones from short video clips. So when your time is up, you can create a digital version of yourself. I think that's terrifying.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
no.
My kids are like, no.
I mean, yeah, that takes Facebook happy birthdays to a whole new level.
Oh my goodness. Is this, well, on Not the Bee yesterday, they had that story of the Japanese lady who created an avatar, left her fiance and married her avatar.
Yeah, that's got to be.
That's weird.
That's what it is. Look at that. It's like a hologram on
Oh,
your
no,
phone,
thank you.
and you can talk to it.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to swipe left.
California revokes CDLs for 17,000 illegal aliens after pressure from the U.S. Department of Transportation. I think that pretty much sums
That
it
pretty
up.
much
That's
sums
it.
it up.
Swipe.
Yeah, swipe
But
left.
that, I
Okay.
mean, that's Gavin Newsom. I can't believe he did it.
We haven't given driver's license to anybody who's an illegal.
The key part is under pressure from the federal government. Is why Newsom did it. But alas,
Do we have a descriptive word for Gavin Newsom?
A biscuit.
A putz?
the Antichrist.
Maybe.
Okay.
Scary
All right.
man. Top Ukrainian officials charged with $100 million embezzlement scheme. And they're very
Hmm.
close associates of Zelensky.
Swipe right,
Swipe
please.
right.
Okay, let's dig in. Wow. This is what Not the Bee says. Who would have guessed?
That seems to be the theme of the show today.
The allegation is that Justice Minister Herman Halushkino and other key ministers and officials received payments from contractors building fortifications against Russian attacks on energy infrastructure. Among those alleged to be involved are former Deputy Prime Minister Oleksiy Chernovsky and Timur Minidich, a businessman and co-owner of Zelensky's former TV studio. He's since fled the country.
Funny how that works.
It's interesting.
If y'all remember, Zelensky is an actor, and he can twerk.
And play the piano with his pecker
And
too.
walk in high heels.
Wait, what did you just say?
He did. You haven't seen that?
No.
We cannot say that on the radio.
It's correct. It's true.
I just pictured him in those high heels,
Yeah, dancing.
dancing. I did not go there.
It's true. He did.
Okay, we're going to be back with Lee from Huntsville. Just going to have to follow that. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside. You guys, we are joined by one of our favorite people, Lee from Huntsville. Did I stretch long enough, JP?
Did you what? Stretch it long enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That was good.
I just
Was
I'm
JP
paying
running
attention.
behind?
No, but he was doing some things. Now I was trying to be respectful this time.
I'm always doing some things.
You are doing things all the time. Okay, Lee, how are you today? Well,
if only Lee was there.
Okay, Lee's not there. It's fine.
Lee.
You know what? That's
Wait,
the
was
whole
she there?
day.
Oh, it says she's on the line, but she's not coming through.
Okay. Oh well. We'll try again.
That is the whole day.
Yeah, it's
been a day.
Basically the whole day. So what were you telling us about Ghislaine Maxwell? You were telling us that she has a puppy.
Yeah, according to the Daily Beast, it says that Ghislaine Maxwell has been given a puppy as part of her preferential treatment.
Oh, has she now?
She didn't even go through a breakup. Thought you only got puppies for breakups.
Yeah, she kind of did go through a breakup.
Did she?
Her boyfriend died in jail, but yeah.
Were they really a thing?
Come on, that's what I really want to know.
I think they were friends with benefits, but I don't think they were ever really.
Yeah, because I think if you're that depraved, how can you really be connected with anybody?
Yeah, they were just transactional, I think.
Yeah, basically.
Well, Lee said she was there.
Oh yeah, she's on the line, but it wasn't coming through. I think she just tried to call it back. Let's see if it works this time. Lee, try it again. Yeah,
okay,
no, we're not getting any Lee.
All right, you know what? That's okay.
Is it?
We're doing our best.
I don't know.
It's not us.
She should be coming through. But.
Lee, it's just the Thursday. This feels like a Monday.
It does.
It really does.
Let's just keep going.
Sinclair, do you have any other stories?
Oh, I mean, I could keep going.
Because I needed everybody to know that John Fetterman fell.
That's a lot of momentum.
It's a lot of momentum.
Down.
And the reason I am asking for our conspiracy theorist in the audience is, he gets on a roll. Apparently, he may be switching parties. I don't know if that's true or not. But after all the good things he's done, magically he fell? Please tell me he just fell. Because he said he fell on his face, and he said he made a joke about it. I really am beginning to like that guy. But he fell. And I'm sorry.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on John Fetterman.
Okay. He's still a biscuit.
Well, no. I mean, is he who he claims to be? Because he is in Pennsylvania, which is increasingly becoming red. Mm-hmm. And he has to win a statewide election.
Right.
So does he actually believe what he's saying? Or is this just, hey, I need to be more moderate so I can get back here and wear my Carhartt sweatshirt and gym shorts every day?
So he did an interview with, was it NBC or was Andrew? I can't remember who was the interviewer. But he was talking quite honestly about the problems he has on the left versus the right and the cruelty on the left versus the right. Yeah. And I thought that was so interesting because I think we all have those experiences where you face death or someone dies unexpectedly, as in both of our stories. Mm-hmm. And so it changes you as a person. He had that same experience. He knows what he's going up against. He knows his own party. He was like rattling off some of the things people said. But I think if he is willing to go through that, admit out loud, hey, this is what they're saying. They're wishing that I was dead. They're wishing for me to die, blah, blah, blah. And he's still willing to go up against his own party. I think perhaps we have a person who's baby stepping toward, I really may be different than my party. I really may need to change. But I thought it was wretched, the things that people on the left have said to him.
It's funny. One of the things I bookmarked to talk about was obviously my feed is full of neuroplasticity and rewiring your brain for myself and my kids. It's why I brush my teeth with my left hand every now and then. It's good. You build different pathways. Yes, you should.
Is that
JP?
real?
No, I'm serious.
Real. It's real.
I'm serious. It's good for your brain. It's messy. Toothpaste goes everywhere. But who's better looking, the left or the right? Would you rather date a libtard woman or a conservative right wing woman?
Conservative. I mean, look, Sydney Sweeney, Republican. And then look at the ones on the left. Like I saw something about how Zendaya reportedly refuses to be seen with Sydney Sweeney because of her Republican views.
I saw that.
It's like,
come on.
I don't know.
Really?
Anyway, no. The answer is definitely conservative. Yes.
So neuroscience is telling me that every complaint rewires your brain to stay stuck and blocks the life you desire. And it goes on to say that complaining makes you less attractive, not just mentally or emotionally, but physically less attractive. It shows up in your posture, your tone of voice, your energy, your expressions. And I read that and I was like, the left is so angry. That's why they're so ugly. And they've got blue hair and they've got all those rings. And even if they're dressed, think about it. Even if they're dressed and they've got their hair, there's something about them when you get to that point that you're so angry at everything. They're never happy. It's like illegal to be happy. And that's exactly what John Fetterman was talking about. They're mean, they're angry, they're bitter, they're everything you hate about people, honestly. And it's a major turnoff and it's making them really ugly. So complain less and you'll get way better looking, apparently.
I mean,
Apparently.
Look at the before and afters of like Rosie O'Donnell, Ellen.
Oh.
They go from, I mean, like they weren't attractive, but they were, normal looking. But now the Never Trump era has made them look like repulsive. So I feel bad for them. I think it's true. You wear your inner, thoughts and complaints outwardly, I guess.
There is something to that. I think you're not wrong. I think that if we have time, I had a story from this morning about women moving out of the United States. I wonder which women those are that are leaving. I got to go find the story, but I bookmarked it.
They're the Rosies,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine.
I don't know, but this whole idea, complaining no matter what side you're on, does make you look awful. You do become what is on the inside, and that eventually shows up like Gollum,
Yeah, and your eyes
truly
scary.
But then you can. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it right there. You become what you're doing. But I'll be interested if this story that I found this morning, which side of people, of women, have decided I've had enough. I'm getting out. I can't take it anymore.
Are we doing it on the other side?
Yeah, we'll do it on the other side. But come on, quit cutting people off. Quit, like, if you have different views, really, are your views so fragile that you cannot bear to be in the presence of somebody who has something different to say?
I've got several liberal friends. That's never once occurred to me that because they're liberal, I'd stop talking to them. I mean, I don't talk to them about certain things, but I don't stop talking to them at all. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. We used to not be that way. We used to be able to communicate. We can't anymore. We can't. Okay, y'all's texts are cracking
Brad
us up,
from
by the way.
Limestone County says Rachel Maddow must complain a lot.
I love it. Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
you were looking like you didn't.
I was laughing or smiling at how he signed off. It says Brad in Crimestone County. That's what he put at the bottom of the text.
Crimestone. Maybe
That's
he will
funny.
flee with the women. Get out of there.
I don't know.
That must be why Rosie O'Donnell is looking pretty rough. Yeah, she does.
Mm-hmm.
She does. Darkness takes over.
One of the greatest clips ever is when Megyn Kelly was pressing Trump about, you've called women fat slobs, pigs, yada, yada, yada. It was during the debate, and Trump goes, only Rosie O'Donnell. The greatest
I forgot about that.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, dig into your article.
I'm going to find it.
I wonder where they're going.
I would like to know. They're probably trying to go to Poland because Poland is apparently very safe. But I'm going to look.
No.
They're leaving.
No.
Apparently this morning at 8 a.m., that was the story. They're leaving. So we're going to find out where they're going and why. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm. And then the rest of your text, because y'all are hilarious today. Oh, and then we can see what Lee has to say about Epstein.
Oh, she never got through. Maybe she can try again.
Hey, at least she texted.
She did text.
Yeah. So very happy about that. And then who's got the exit question of the day today?
Have I done one yet?
It's your turn.
Okay.
You're
No
going to have to
pressure.
go like make it good.
I'll make it good.
All right.
I'll make it a provocative, deep would you rather.
Okay.
If it's bad though, don't complain.
I'll smile
Yeah.
through gritted teeth.
It's gonna
No,
be all
you can
good.
tell me it's bad while smiling. And yeah, because I don't want you to lie to me if it's bad.
Okay.
That's almost worse. Would you rather complain or lie?
Would you rather?
Oh.
Oh, that's not a good one.
Oh,
that is-
not
That's
that one.
rough, but ooh, convicting. All right.
You're listening to Rightside Radio, but we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside, where we've had a day, guys.
It's not ending.
And we covered a lot of things. We talked about shady trading, which no one's surprised about. We talked about Epstein. Also, no one's surprised about Epstein. And what else did we talk about?
Garland Gudger interview.
Talked to Garland Gudger.
It's a great interview. Insider trading.
SNAP benefits.
Dead people getting SNAP benefits.
We did. Just want to let you guys know tomorrow we will cover a hot topic. IVF. We're going to go there. Just wanted you to be prepared.
I'm gonna have to sleep well tonight.
You should sleep well tonight, Allison, because just get ready.
Get my rest.
So here's the story. Record 40% of young women want to flee the U.S.
Because of Trump?
Well,
because they're losing their rights?
A new survey found that a record number of young women are interested in fleeing the U.S. and moving abroad permanently. Gallup found this for the second year in a row that approximately 1 in 5 Americans say they'd like to leave the U.S. and move to another country. However, a growing number of young women expressed interest in fleeing the country. According to the polling firm, 40% of women aged 15 to 44 said they would move abroad permanently if given the opportunity. Gallup noted that in 2014, only 1/4 as many women expressed a desire to leave. So I want to know where they want to go.
Does it say why?
I'm looking. There's a gender gap, a desire to migrate. It started a long time ago. They're just not telling me where these people, why or where they want to go. That doesn't help me, guys, that you're telling me the women want to leave. There's just, okay, well, perhaps abortion's going to be in that.
Yeah, anywhere where abortion's allowed.
Yeah.
Abortion was a minor blip in that article. I think it's alarming, though, that they decided they just want to leave and go somewhere else. I think they've been keeping track of this poll since 2007. And it was around the time, I don't know, Barack Obama's name was mentioned in there. But now a large percentage of women just want to get out.
I say go.
No, what's stopping you? You
Deuces.
know, go enjoy socialism in another country.
Exactly.
See what the UK's healthcare system, or Canada for that matter, is like.
Let's send them to North Korea.
Yeah.
Okay.
China. Oh, just go get what you want.
Canada,
make yourself happy.
Canada. Ugh. That's the worst of them all.
Ugh. Ugh. Okay, we only have a few minutes. JP.
Would you rather?
You want to do would you rather? Do you want to read, because Lee couldn't call in?
Oh, yeah. Lee from Huntsville, with her comments on Epstein, says it's not just that he was an asset for many different intel organizations, which he was. It's that it's Israel's, as well as many friendly nations. It's also that big donors and politicians in both parties are implicated. Democrats are no more interested in this coming out than the Republicans, but they are interested in trying to say Trump is keeping it hidden for various reasons, and we have to keep reminding people that they are the ones blocking its release.
I think she summed it up well.
Spot on.
Yep.
All right.
On.
Are you ready for these? Would you rather?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to answer them too, so don't ask one that you don't want to answer.
250 would you rathers. I'm just going to pick some. Would you rather have telekinesis or telepathy? So the ability to move things with your mind, or the ability to read minds?
Oh, read minds for sure. I don't know if I want to know that.
Nah, I'm going telekinesis because I don't want to know everything other people are thinking.
That'd be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it'd be so nice to just move your kids' socks.
Yeah, or if you're like sitting
dishes,
on the couch and you need your drink, you just
yeah, exactly.
Get up, grab your computer, and just it comes right to you. Start your car. Get your key out there, so it just there you go.
I agree. I think telekinesis is the answer. Would you rather be chronically underdressed or overdressed?
Over.
Does that mean like fancy or not fancy, or is that hot? Like you got lots of layers, or
I figured like fancy, like chronically underdressed or overdressed. Like showing up to the radio studio in a dress or showing up to a fancy event in sweats. Pretty much.
Shoot.
Boy.
I'm always going to choose the sweats, but I don't want to.
I'll go underdressed.
I think I'm going to go underdressed. Abs is going to go overdressed because she wears sequins and she does it well.
Over.
Yep.
Well, okay, so I guess this one's only for me. But would you rather find true love today or win the lottery next year?
What are you going to say? True love. You're going to say love.
Tell them to bring me my money. I'm 22 years old. I can find love anytime, but the lottery? Come on.
I mean, how much is that lottery? You're going to give up love for like $1 million?
Yeah, but I got so much time to find. It's so much easier to find true love than to win the lottery. Think about that. Think about that. And I could find true love before the year's over.
It's true.
You could have both.
I could have both.
You could have both.
You got to bring me my money.
Okay, take the lottery.
Well, would you rather lose your sight or your memories?
Oh, that's awful. I hate this question. My sight or my memories? My sight.
Memories.
I rely so much on my sight, though. Like everybody does. You can make new memories, I guess.
Well, if you put it that way, then my memories.
I gotta lose my memories. My sight's too.
Yeah.
Because what's good at memories if you can't see anything? You can just sit there and just think about all your memories, and then you can't see anything.
You can see your memories in your mind's eye.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta have my sight on that one. We got 1 minute. Okay.
All right.
Would you rather? Okay, no, I'm not doing that one. Would you rather stay in during a snow day or build a fort?
Like an ice fort?
Like, yeah, I guess like a igloo.
I'm staying in.
I'm staying in
by the fire.
Yeah, I'm staying in too. Would you rather buy 10 things you don't need every time you go shopping or always forget the one thing that you need when you go to the store?
Oh. Boy. Well, since I have telekinesis.
You can just zip it from the store.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing worse than getting home,
shutting the door,
and not having the dressing for your salad or whatever it is. So I would have to say 10 things you don't need. And then that gives me anxiety.
You got to give the 10 things.
Yeah. I got to go with 10.
10 things.
Because you might need it someday.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, we're going to look at the bright side. We are not complaining and getting ugly.
Look at the bright side. Look at the right side.
Bright
side.
Oh,
that was good.
Bright side.
That was real good.
There's something there.
Thank you.
All right. I had fun. It was a good show. We covered a lot. Great interview. If y'all don't follow us on social media, you should. Rightside Media. Usually you can find us there. We will see y'all tomorrow for Freedom Friday. See ya.